Hey guys, this is Ben for In the Field Consultants today. Back up here on this cornfield we looked at yesterday, and we've got the tiller running in the field and the planter, so I thought we'd catch the action. Flip the screen here. And this is the turbo chopper I was talking about yesterday. You can see how it's a real shallow, it's just fluffing the dirt up there, but he can cover ground pretty quickly with this thing. It does take a very decent sized tractor to operate it, but it works really well for the shallow tilling we're talking about. So this is, right here we'll look at, this is the second pass over the field. You're still gonna have some trash on top of the field. We're just, with us only tilling so shallow, we're not gonna get it all buried. If we really wanted to get it all buried, then we should have came in here with an offset disc or something that was really going to work a lot more dirt into it, but that wasn't quite in line with our plan here, which is to do very shallow cultivation. I really don't like doing deep tillage. Speaking of which, yesterday we had in one of the comments from yesterday's video a question about doing subsoiling, and I'm not a big fan of subsoiling, and I'll get into that very briefly here. The primary reason is here in this part of the Shenandoah Valley, we have a lot of rock, and a lot of these crop fields here, even though they are compacted, folks have spent years cleaning these fields free of rocks. And I have used a subsoiler in the past for just using it. We had a retrofitted subsoiler that we used for laying buried water line, and I was shocked when we used that how much rock it pulled up. So for one thing, I'm not a huge fan of pulling rocks back up that have been buried over time in these fields. And the other thing is, I prefer to use a plant or an animal as much as possible, so we'll probably use some brassicas, some turnips and radishes as our compaction breakers over time, in addition to the your normal perennial plants and rotational grazing working. But here, this is kind of cool shot here. You got your turbo chopper running just ahead of the planter, and the kind of working right there. This is about as perfect as you can get. We've just had a bunch of rain as far as timing goes, and we're basically working the ground up right now and putting the seed in right behind it. They're calling for a little more rain here this weekend, and we should be able to get a really good take here on this field, really get this grass going. And once the sorghum Sudan is up, I'll come back up here again and we'll do kind of a review of the process and how well it worked for us, or if we're pleased or not. As far as fertility goes, we are planning on spreading some poultry litter on this farm. This ground is certifying organic, so we are limited to a degree in what we will use. Poultry litter is a very good source of kind of your NP and Ks, especially along a more conventional mindset. I really am more trying to work with the soil biology and the more natural ways. And poultry litter, one problem you have with poultry litter, if you really get carried away with using it, is it is high in potassium, and that will end up being a residual in your feed for years to come, which is not a good thing for a dairy farm. And these fields, thankfully, don't have very high potassium levels in them already. The Shenandoah Valley, you kind of run issues with farms that have had a lot of poultry litter spread over the years, and you get some pretty high potassium residual levels. So kind of our plan here is we're just using the poultry litter to get this crop going, since it was a conventional field and the soil here is used to conventional inputs. It takes a little while to wean them off of the kind of a conventional chemical input to where it's more of an active living biological soil. So we're just using the poultry litter to kind of help get this crop going, and then as we cycle cows on, like we were talking about yesterday, get their poop on, get life on top of here, then the soil will come alive, and we'll be able to move forward from there. One other quick comment. This is I think it's a grass buster. I'll take a picture and post it later today. Drill. I have been very, very impressed with this drill. I've worked on John Deere drills, and I've also worked on Great Plains drills, and I'm just really impressed with the simplicity and the hardiness of this drill. It's very easy to make adjustments. the Great Plains and the John Deere drills that I've run in the past really were a pain in the butt to adjust. You kind of set it and hope that it was right, and that's rarely the case when you work with a drill. You kind of have to reset it a couple times. But this one, I've been very pleased with how well it places the seed, how easy it is to adjust, and we'll see how the stand looks when it comes up, but so far very, very impressed with that drill. Would highly recommend it if I was going to buy a drill for myself, which I'm not planning to do anytime in the future, but something to keep in mind. So hope you guys all have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to place them down below, and we'll talk to you all next time.